This is IGN. Superman and Spider-Man will headline the next Marvel and DC crossover. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, Microsoft has recently increased the price of its Xbox Game Pass Ultimate memberships from $19.99 to $29.99 a month, while also renaming and updating its other membership tiers. In response, major U.S. retailer GameStop has stated on X or Twitter that it will continue selling Game Pass Ultimate at the old price, quote, in-store and online, sidestepping the increase for now. It isn't alone either. As IGN reported, Amazon is also still selling Xbox Game Pass Ultimate at $19.99 per month, and the same, at least for now, goes for Walmart, Best Buy, and Target. The key distinction is that GameStop has publicly confirmed it will continue selling Ultimate at the pre-hike price point, while the other major U.S. retailers have not commented and simply continue to list the subscription at the old rate. Xbox fans have suggested a potential explanation that GameStop and others may be selling through existing backlog of codes originally issued at $19.99. Physical Game Pass cards are typically printed with their value shown, which could in theory make raising the price impractical for remaining stock. How this translates to online sales is less certain. Retailers typically distribute digital codes via automated systems rather than manually, which means prices could potentially be adjusted more easily if new stock were issued. How this applies to codes already supplied by Microsoft is still unclear. And as the dust settled on Microsoft's shock price rise for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, fans reacted with a mixture of anger, cancellations, and frantic subscription stacking. Meanwhile, a poll of 10,000 IGN readers showed 45% of our audience isn't interested in subscribing to Game Pass at all following the news, with just shy of 30% saying they will subscribe to Ultimate despite the price rise. To justify the increase in price of Ultimate, Microsoft has increased the number of Day 1 releases per year to 75, and has added Fortnite Crew and Ubisoft Plus Classics for the first time ever. There are also upgrades to Xbox cloud gaming streaming quality. Despite the extras, has the Ultimate price rise forced a rethink among Game Pass subscribers? IGN readers have been discussing the changes and offering their thoughts in the comments. They make for interesting reading, with some saying they have now canceled their subscription. Go check out the full story right now at IGN.com. Marvel and DC blew a lot of minds earlier this year when they announced that they'd be joining forces for their first intercompany crossover in more than 2 decades. Marvel released Deadpool Batman #1 in September, while DC will follow suit with Batman Deadpool #1 in November. The publishers previously confirmed that another crossover will follow in 2026, and now we have confirmation that it involves 2 of the biggest heroes in pop culture, Superman and Spider-Man. It turns out there's a good reason that the Man of Steel and our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man have been MIA in the various crossover tales included in Deadpool Batman #1 and Batman Deadpool #1. They're being saved for their own pair of crossover specials timed to the 50th anniversary of 1976's Superman vs. the Amazing Spider-Man #1. Similar to the release strategy of this year's crossover, DC will publish Superman Spider-Man #1 in March 2026, followed by Marvel publishing Spider-Man Superman #1 in April. Neither publisher is revealing the creative teams involved yet, but further announcements will be dropping in the months to come. Presumably, both issues will feature several backup crossover tales similar to the ones in Deadpool Batman #1 and Batman Deadpool #1. Prior to those releases, DC will also release 2 Treasury Edition reprints of classic Superman Spider-Man crossovers, Treasury Edition 50th Anniversary of Superman vs. the Amazing Spider-Man #1 in January, and DC and Marvel present Superman and Spider-Man Treasury Edition #1 in February. Prior to these Batman Deadpool crossovers, Marvel and DC's last collaboration was 2003's Justice League America Avengers. Be sure to check out IGN's picks for the Marvel DC crossovers that need to happen next. Treasury Edition 50th Anniversary of Superman vs. the Amazing Spider-Man #1 will be released on January 7th, followed by DC and Marvel present Superman and Spider-Man Treasury Edition #1 on February 4th. Then look for Superman Spider-Man #1 in March and Spider-Man Superman #1 in April. For more crossover fun, check out the top 10 Batman crossovers of all time right now at IGN.com. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.